There's so much fun for everyone. The game of Candyland. Candyland. Places made of sweets and yummy treats.
Will you be the first to my castle?
In the game of Candyland.
Oh, I love it. You know where Candyland is now? It is the grocery store. Walk down any aisle and all that Halloween candy is just calling your name. We had a chance. We asked you to create, and we saw some vines that were just awesome. They caught our eye. See if you relate. Watch this.
I can't stand this anymore. Damn it.
That's it. He finally buckled there. All right, it is time now because we ask you, hashtag, can you crush the cravings? New York Times best-selling author Mark Macdonald's with us. There's the book body, Confidence. Good to see you. So here it is.
I love the Candyland, by the way.
Oh, isn't that great? That's what the grocery store is
I
now.
know.
Between the candy, and we can smell the cinnamon, the pumpkin, and the pumpkin spice here. How do we crush the cravings, my friend?
Well, you know, I think the first thing is we have to understand is that we're surrounded by them, and it tastes great.
Yeah, it does.
So you naturally want them. So there's two types of cravings. The first one is a physiological craving. That's a physical need that's controlled by your blood sugar level. So when you're hungry, Mike, your blood sugar is telling you got to eat. And it's not a lack of willpower when you go into a store with low blood sugar. You want this because that's how your body fuels itself. So the way you solve that is you got to eat in threes first. So you got to make sure that you're eating every 3 hours, a little bit of protein, fat, carbs, so you won't succumb to the physiological cravings. But then we have to address the psychological cravings.
Yeah, right. And on the physiological front, don't go to the store hungry.
No,
don't
that's
go
the worst
shopping
thing.
hungry
Low
because you
blood
end
sugar.
up with all of this, right?
Or anywhere. We're surrounded by
Yeah.
it. So we have to, like, gear up and make sure that we're not starving when we go there, or you're going to eat the candy, you're going to have the bread, you're going to have the pie.
Okay, real quick. So let's hit on the memories, because I know with me, and I'm sure a lot of people, you see this, and you start thinking, when I was a kid. And as a kid, it's okay to knock down a bunch of candy, so we're thinking, I'm in again.
Yeah, well, the physiological is the physical need. The psychological craving is the emotional want. You know, I remember, like, Sunday football, right?
Yeah, there's another one.
Pizza, beer, Thanksgiving, you want the pumpkin pie. So you want this food. As long as you're physically stable, you won't need it. You're still going to want it. So we have to create some solutions for that. So what about this? When you want some candy right here, instead of doing that, you do some sugar-free gum. I know that you might not like that.
Right, okay, but
or instead of doing a bunch of it, you just do 1 or 2 to just get that sweetness. You can also do some stevia, which is a natural herbal sweetener that you can add to some Greek yogurt or some oatmeal just to make sure that you get that taste that you want.
Okay.
Now, what about chocolate? You like chocolate?
I do like chocolate.
Okay, so instead...
And it's hard to substitute that,
Yeah,
man.
well, it is, but
2 or 3 of those is what you want.
Twix, Snickers, all of these things, but guess what you can do? You can take your favorite chocolate protein bar. Now, you might not, hey, that doesn't sound great, but it does. You find the best one that you like, you freeze it, it becomes a great chocolate dessert that gives you that same feeling that you want.
Okay, so here we got the pie and even bread.
Yeah.
And bread, the tough stuff with that is the gluten, which we don't digest very well sometimes. How do you substitute that? Even just a couple of slices of bread for a sandwich with some turkey. What am I doing? What am I getting there?
When you see this bread, we want bread, and there's a feeling to it. So you could simply, instead of getting all the fat and sugar and calories in this, you could do some Ezekiel bread, which is live sprouted bread, and you can have that as that bread craving. Now, some people might be saying at home, wait a second, I'm not going to substitute all of this. So once a week, do whatever you want. Eat your pumpkin pie. Eat your bread, eat your candy, go for it. One off-plan meal. We call it cheating to conquer your cravings. But then the rest of the week, make these healthy substitutions so you still get that release without the extra fat and calories.
Are you concerned in the people you work with that when they have one cheat and they have a nice slice of pie, that then the next day then they go, I think I'm going to have a little more?
Yeah, they naturally will crave that. And most of it's because their blood sugar is low. Blood sugar controls your hunger.
Yep.
So when you have low blood sugar, you're always going to want sugar. So stabilize your blood sugar by eating in threes. But then, after you have that pumpkin pie, know the next day you still might want a little sweet. That's when you bring in these little healthier options to still give you that fulfillment without making you fall off plan and gaining the weight.
There you go. Tweet me at Mike Alanos, HLN. How do you crush the cravings? You heard from Mark. Want to hear from you. Nice job.